Hamide Yeni is on a hunt, pounding down the dirt roads of this remote village in eastern Turkey, looking for the man who Turkish authorities say beat his wife and put her in the hospital twice in less than 12 months. Have you seen Farouk? She asks the village mayor's daughter. He disappeared with his car. No one's seen him, the woman replies. The man Yen is looking for is Farouk Platin, filmed here several months ago with his 2 children and his 30-year-old wife, Sidika. This was Sidika outside a hospital last September. Almost unrecognizable because of bruises and the bandages that doctors put on her ear after part of it was sliced off. A court sentenced Sidika's husband to 15 months in prison for assault. But officials say he did not serve any jail time because he, quote, showed remorse. Sidika also dropped the charges against him. So after 2 months at a state-run women's shelter, the prosecutor sent Sidika and her children back to live with her husband. Women's rights activists like Hamide Yeni say they watched helplessly as Farouk took his wife back to his village. This kind of thing is happening in every village, Yeni tells me. There are thousands of women like Sidika out there. In fact, according to a 2009 government report, 42% of Turkish women surveyed say they have been victims of either physical or sexual abuse by their husband or partner. Despite progressive laws to combat domestic abuse, activists point out there are only 52 state-run shelters for battered women in the entire country.
Because there's a lack of will on the part of the government to implement the laws, to have a program, a coordinated action program to stop violence against women, and also trainings for judges and prosecutors, which is missing.
Not long after Sidika moved back home, neighbors and one village official say there were fresh signs of trouble. Social services workers, security forces, and volunteers repeatedly came here to Sidika Platin's house to answer reports that she was being repeatedly beaten. And in nearly every case, her husband ordered them off his property and frequently denied them access to his wife. It wasn't until she was hospitalized for the second time in 2 years that doctors found such extensive wounds across her body that they believe she was tortured. Doctors say Sidika arrived in the hospital on July 15th in a catatonic state, covered with fresh bruises and burns. Sidika's mother has little hope her daughter will ever recover. That man has been beating my daughter since the day she put on her wedding dress, she says. I wish he killed her long ago to save her all of the suffering. Turkish police now have an arrest warrant out for Sidika's husband. But activist Hamide Yeni says that just isn't good enough. The state is guilty, the system is guilty, she says, because it failed to protect the victim. Ivan Watson, CNN, Kapaköy in eastern Turkey.